The truth is hard to take, and few will ever really seek after it. Today we're going to take a look at a convenient little idea of how to store your store-bought canned goods for SHTF, and we'll jump right into that right after the channel intro. Remember, you are ultimately responsible for protecting yourself and for providing for yourself. Always be the wolf hunter. Don't be the sheep nor the wolf. If you are like me, you don't want all of your food preps to be just beans and rice. And I like to keep my food preps being a good mixture of canned goods and dried goods and even some freeze-dried goods. And this helps to have a variety and will also hopefully combat food boredom should SHTF happen and you have to start eating your food stores for survival. But several years ago I saw a YouTube video that showed this little trick, so I adopted this little habit into my own preps. And for the life of me, I don't remember the YouTube channel name, as I like to give this gentleman credit. But here's the tip that he showed in his video that I'd like to pass along, especially to brand new preppers. First, you'll end up getting a sturdy tub or a plastic tote with a lid that you will end up putting canned foods into. But the amount of food that you'll put in it will dictate on how large that tub will end up being. Next, buy enough canned food for a week or two, or however long that you choose. But for me and my family, I like to do a week's worth of food for each tub. Then for each meal that you'll place in that tub, choose a can that has the main meal in it, such as a can of beef stew or something like that. And then also choose a can of some type of a vegetable, and then also a can of some type of a fruit. And then if you want even more variety, also add in several cans of some kind of a canned breakfast food. In my case, I usually add in several cans of bacon flavored Spam, just for even more variety. For my family of 3, each meal will consist of a large can of stew or something like that that we'll split, then a regular sized can of some type of a vegetable to split, then a regular sized can of some type of a fruit to split. And of course it will also contain several cans of bacon flavored Spam. And if needed, we'll use extra rice from the long-term food storage to extend the can of food that is being used as the main course by pouring that can of food over the cooked rice. So in each one of my tubs I'm going to have 21 large cans of some type of large stew or chicken and dumplings or something else to serve as the main course, then 21 cans of different types of vegetables, and then 21 cans of different types of fruits, and also 4 or 5 cans of bacon flavored Spam. So each meal that we'll have a can of the main dish, a can of the vegetables, and a can of the fruit. And if it's a breakfast, we'll have a can of the main dish, a can of the vegetables, and a can of the fruit, and then also a can of the Spam. Now, the size of your family will dictate how large the cans will need to be that you choose, and will also dictate on how many cans of food that you'll be storing. Then I think it's also a good idea to supplement each tub that you do like this with some type of a drink mix such as high C or tea, also a roll of toilet paper, maybe even a roll of paper towels, and just about every third tub I like to throw in a bottle of daily vitamins to help with any nutrient shortcomings that the food may have. You may want to even throw in a bottle of cleaner or some other type of disinfectant and a few other absolute daily necessities if you feel the need to. And it wouldn't hurt to throw in a cheap can opener either. It's almost easier to get your canned foods and your paper products first and then see how large of a tub that you're going to need. The main advantage to doing this is that you get a good variety of food and a variety of nutrients. The main course, the vegetables, and the fruit will help you have a more well-rounded meal. Now here are some of the advantages of this simple system. It's easy to keep organized into inventory. The cans of food already have a lot of water, so it's possible that it will help keep the amount of water that you need down to a minimum. Obviously, this is going to be depending on how much sodium that's in the canned foods that you buy. Also, these won't take as much fuel to cook like uncooked rice and beans. Now, some of the disadvantages of using canned goods for your food preps is, well, they're extremely heavy with all the liquid that's in the cans. And canned goods do not have as long as a shelf life as dried goods such as beans and rice and dried corn. Now I've heard that canned goods can last years beyond their expiration dates, and I've eaten canned goods that were expired by a couple of years, but I wouldn't want to gamble on counting on canned goods that were 20 or 30 years old. Of course, a simple solution to this is just simply purchasing canned goods that you eat a lot of so that you can eat them and rotate them. Folks, this video is just to pass on another option that I learned from another YouTube channel, and I hope that you find it useful. And please note that these tubs of food are not supposed to cover every aspect of prepping. These tubs are just to help to cover the canned food portion and the hygiene portion of some of your food preps. This is just a convenient idea so that if SHTF happens and you do have to break into your food preps, that at the beginning of each week you can open a tub that will contain a good variety of food, some vitamins, and have some hygiene. And of course, if you can help it, you probably don't want to make this the only food source for SHTF. Having also a variety of dried foods that are stored at separate locations and that are also capable of storing up to 30 years is ideal. Plus, having the knowledge and the ability to renew your food sources is ideal also. Folks, if you found this video to be informative, then please give the video the thumbs up, and also please comment below with any of your tips and tricks for SHTF food storage. And also please consider subscribing to this channel, as I plan on making many more videos down the road as time permits. Anyways folks, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.